They say she was the most beautiful woman in the kingdom. The king fell in love at first sight. He made her his queen. But when she smiled in the candlelight, 9 tails flickered behind her like shadows. This wasn't a fairy tale. It was Korea's oldest nightmare. Tonight you're meeting the creatures that haunted Korean villages for centuries. The seductive Kumiho, that devours men's hearts and livers. The mischievous Dokkaebi goblins, born from trash that steal your luck and soul. Mountain beasts that demand blood sacrifices, and house spirits that punish the lazy and ungrateful. Stay until the end, and you'll understand why Koreans still leave rice at crossroads, avoid certain mountains after dark, and never sweep their houses carelessly at night. If dark East Asian mythology pulls you in, subscribe now before you forget. This is just the beginning of Korea's shadow world, and there are dozens more spirits waiting. Korea didn't have empty forests or silent houses. Every shadow had a name. Every mountain had eyes. Every broomstick had a grudge. Before Buddhism and Confucianism arrived from China, Koreans believed spirits lived everywhere. In the jagged peaks of sacred mountains, the rushing rivers that swallowed fishermen, the hearth fire that cooked every meal, even the luck that followed a family for generations or abandoned them overnight. These weren't distant gods sitting on clouds issuing commandments. They were neighbors, sometimes helpful, usually dangerous, always watching, always hungry for something. Tonight you'll meet 4 of the most feared and respected from Korea's ancient spirit world. The Kumiho, the 9-tailed fox spirit that becomes your perfect lover before she rips out your liver. The Dokkaebi goblins, born from trash and grudges, who gamble your soul away in the mountain caves. The Gumiho savage tiger men that guard forbidden peaks and demand blood. The Jowangsin and Gwishin house spirits and hungry ghosts that live right where you sleep. By the end of this video, you might start looking at foxes, abandoned brooms, and empty houses a little differently. And if stories like this keep you watching past the 5-minute mark, you're exactly the audience this channel was built for. Let's begin with the one that still appears in Korean dramas and nightmares, the Kumiho. Picture a young scholar walking home late through the misty woods after studying under lantern light. The path is familiar. The air smells of pine and damp earth. Then he sees her, a beautiful woman sitting by a stream crying softly. Her silk hanbok is wet from the water. Her hair falls perfectly despite the tears. She looks lost, helpless, abandoned. He approaches to help. She looks up with eyes that seem to see right through him. They talk, and somehow she already knows things. His name, his village just over the hill, even the poetry he wrote last spring that no one else read. Before he realizes it, hours have passed, or minutes. Time feels slippery around her. She smiles through her tears. She takes his arm. They walk together into deepening shadows. She leads him to a cave hidden by vines. There, in the flickering light of foxfire, strange blue flames that don't burn, she kisses him. And then her eyes change. Her mouth opens too wide, revealing rows of needle teeth. 9 fiery tails burst from behind her back like living flames. Her nails grow into claws longer than daggers. She pins him against the stone wall. Her tongue becomes long and hollow like a needle. It pierces his chest, seeking his still beating liver, pulling it out while he screams. This is the Kumiho, Korea's 9-tailed fox spirit. Unlike the more ambiguous Japanese kitsune that can turn good or evil, the Kumiho is almost always pure predator. She's a fox that's lived 1,000 years, gaining magical powers, shape-shifting, mind-reading, foxfire illusions, but never true humanity. Her one obsession, eating human livers and hearts, to shed her fox nature and become mortal. She crafts perfect disguises, the ideal wife for lonely scholars, the lost traveler for kind farmers, even your childhood sweetheart returned from the city. But every time, moments before the transformation completes, the fox betrays her. The tails appear. The hunger returns. The man dies. Sometimes she leaves the body with strange marks, claw scratches shaped like fox prints, or a liver completely missing. Villagers developed strict rules over centuries. Never trust a beautiful stranger alone at night, especially one who appears wet or crying near water. Never follow any woman into the woods, no matter how charming. If you see foxfire dancing in the forest, strange lights that move against the wind, run the other way without looking back. And if a woman knows intimate details about your life too quickly, without explanation, leave immediately, even if it seems rude. The Kumiho stories weren't just horror. In a society of strict Confucian family roles and arranged marriages, they controlled dangerous desire itself. They warned against lust that bypassed social rules, against trusting strangers who seemed too perfect, against ignoring the unnatural, no matter how seductive. The Kumiho was chaos, wearing the face of your deepest fantasy. If you've made it this far into Korea's fox nightmare and still want more, this channel delivers exactly that kind of hidden lore. Hit subscribe now so the next legend finds you before you wander into the wrong forest. Now imagine a completely different kind of terror, not seductive death, but absurd, chaotic, humiliating ruin that strips away everything you own. You're sweeping your house late at night, cleaning up after a long day. In the corner behind the woodpile, you find something strange, an old broom that's heavier than it should be, with an unnatural shine to the handle. Curiosity makes you take it inside. That same night, there's a loud knock at your door. Standing there is a creature about 4 feet tall, short and muscular like a wrestler, with bull horns curling from its forehead, tiger teeth grinning in a wide mouth, wearing patchwork rags stolen from your neighbor's clotheslines. In one hand, it holds a massive wooden club wrapped in straw that grants wishes to winners. This is Dokkaebi. Born from trash left to rot, forgotten tools abandoned in the rain, or the grudges of murdered spirits, Dokkaebi love games above all else. They challenge you immediately, wrestling matches where they use unnatural strengths, riddles that twist your mind, or Cyrenium-style paper-flipping games called dakji, where the stakes climb higher with every round. Win their game, and they'll grant wishes gold that never runs out, perfect health, daughters who marry nobility. But lose, and they take everything. Your house, your fields, your wife and children, even your luck for 7 generations. Some Dokkaebi run underground gambling dens and mountain caves where desperate men bet their lives, their families, their very souls on games of chance. The loser wakes up years later on a roadside, destitute and aged, remembering only echoing laughter, clattering dice, and the smell of soju. Not all Dokkaebi are cruel. Some are harmless pranksters who steal socks and hide tools just to watch you curse. Their great weakness is kindness and politeness. Offer them food and rice wine. Speak respectfully even when they cheat. And sometimes they'll leave gifts, instead rice that never spoils, tools that never break. But insult them, try to cheat, or show greed when they offer a single wish. Your luck turns to ash overnight. Dokkaebi explained the randomness of fortune in Korean life. The merchant who woke up rich one morning with no explanation. The farmer whose crops failed completely despite perfect weather. They became central to festivals. People beat effigy Dokkaebi with sticks during Dokboki celebrations to ward off bad luck for the coming year. But in every village, the warning remained the same. Never ignore trash or broken tools left in the woods. Something might be watching, waiting for you to pick it up. If East Asian spirits have you hooked this deep into the video, subscribing keeps you connected to every new descent into their world. High in the jagged peaks of Korea's sacred mountains live creatures far less playful. The Gumiho, not foxes, but savage tiger spirits that walk like men. Picture a muscular human body covered in tiger stripes, with a massive tiger head, burning coal eyes, and claws that can split boulders. Gumiho haunt the deepest forests and the highest passes, ripping apart lone hunters, lost travelers, even entire search parties sent to find the missing. Unlike Dokkaebi, who gamble, Gumiho don't play games. They hunt with cold purpose. Shaman legends say Gumiho guard Korea's most sacred mountains places where gods once walked and kings sought visions. Enter without permission. Kill even one animal incorrectly. Speak disrespectfully to the wind or stones, and the mountain shakes violently. Rocks tumble. Then the Gumiho appears from the mist, moving faster than any man can run. Their weakness lies in iron weapons forged with specific chants and blessed by shamans, but few survive long enough to use them. Most villages simply mark certain peaks as forbidden forever, pointing to strange rock formations that locals swear are petrified Gumiho, twisted faces frozen in eternal rage amid the granite. These mountain spirits turned Korea's wilderness into holy ground. You didn't climb mountains for sport or selfies. You climbed only to pray, to leave offerings, to beg permission before every step. The Gumiho made nature a living force with teeth and claws. The most unsettling Korean spirits live closest to home sometimes, in your kitchen fire sometimes, in the walls of abandoned houses. Every traditional Korean home contained a Jowangsin, the hearth spirit. Picture a small old woman with ash-gray skin living inside the kitchen flames. Feed her properly with rice and clean the hearth daily, and she protected your family from fire, illness, thieves. Neglect her even once, leave dirty pots, spill rice carelessly, and your kitchen might burn down with everyone inside. Worse were the Gwishin, vengeful, hungry ghosts, unburied corpses from disasters, murdered innocents denied proper funerals, women who died in childbirth before holding their babies. Gwishin appear as pale figures with long black hair hiding decayed faces. They possess the living, speaking in dead voices through unwilling mouths, demanding justice, revenge, or simply someone to suffer with them. Exorcisms required shamans with bells, garlic, salt circles, and sometimes burning the possessed house to ash. Even today, rural Koreans avoid abandoned homes at night, whispering Gwishin house as they hurry past. Empty houses aren't truly empty. They're waiting, listening for footsteps that might disturb their endless hunger. Forest caves, mountain peaks, trash heaps behind houses, kitchen fires, crumbling walls. In ancient Korea, nowhere truly escaped the spirits. The Kumiho taught caution around desire and strangers. Dokkaebi warned against greed and carelessness. Gumiho demanded respect for untamed nature. Jowangsin and Gwishin reminded you that neglect creates monsters closer than you think. Modern Korea transformed them into K-dramas, video games, cartoons, and tourist festivals. But the original fears linger beneath the neon. Strangers who know too much about you. Sudden ruin with no explanation. Forbidden mountains that swallow climbers. Empty houses that feel too heavy to enter. You've now walked through Korea's complete shadow pantheon, from seductive foxes to mountain tigers to hungry ghosts. If unfiltered mythology like this keeps you watching to the end, subscribe right now. Hit like if you want deeper dives into other Asian spirit worlds. And tell us in the comments below, Kumiho, Dokkaebi, Gumiho, or Gwishin? Which one haunts you the most? Your answers decide which Korean legend gets its own full, dedicated episode next. Until then, next time you see unexplained lights dancing in the woods, hear knocking from an empty broom closet at midnight, smell something faintly burning from a clean kitchen, or pass a house that's been empty too long, maybe don't assume it's nothing at all.